Disney has effectively shut down the press room for this whole movie. Disney has banned the entire Hollywood press corps from covering the premiere. Disney is only going to allow their own paid personnel, their own employees, their own hired contractors to come in there and do the photography at the premiere. Maybe you get a short statement out of Rachel Zegler, but it's going to be, the question is going to be preset. It is going to be rehearsed with Rachel Zegler, and it's going to be delivered like it was part of the script of the movie. Renegade Online. So let's go to these. This is what we're talking about. Snow White, starring Rachel Zegler, is coming out Thursday of next week. And, of course, it's
trash.
We don't even have to wait for it. It's just going to be
trash.
Yes. So Disney scales back Snow White premiere as controversy surrounding film grows. Looks like the premiere won't be the fairest of all. After suffering an incredible backlash over the forthcoming live-action Snow White, Disney has decided to scale back its usual over-the-top premiere in Los Angeles. Now, this comes on the heels of what we were talking about the other day, where Disney was not going to do a big London premiere. Disney was instead doing this other thing at a castle in Spain, and they said that's what we intended to do all along, and okay, fine. But then we get news that the Los Angeles premiere, they're going to be able to say, oh, we still had a red carpet premiere, except for a few key things, right, Jonas? There's a couple of things that are strangely absent or have been oddly altered with this.
Like Mark Malkin, I don't think he'll be showing up there to ask them,
no,
is this the gayest Snow White ever?
Yes, this is the gayest Star Wars ever made. You know, that guy from Variety, folks. We played the clip on how many times, I have no idea. Instead, apparently, of the big over-the-top premiere in Los Angeles, the studio has reportedly opted for a quiet, laid-back pre-party and a screening at the El Capitan in Hollywood.
Like it's a marriage that everyone is ashamed of. They've decided to have a quiet ceremony.
It's a shotgun wedding. You just want to get this over with, which is a great next article coming up from THR. Unlike usual red carpets, Snow White stars Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot will not be answering questions from dozens of media outlets, as Disney has allegedly handpicked only a select few photographers and a house crew to cover the high-profile event. Now, this is incredible, because to me, first of all, not having anybody there from the news media that can ask questions, that can interview the guests, namely the two stars. The whole point of doing these red carpet events, if you're a major studio putting out a major movie that you spent at least $400 million on to put into theaters, and you're not going to have media there. The whole point is creating clips. The whole point is to create clips of the stars talking about the movie, how excited they are, that explode everywhere on social media. YouTube, X, Facebook, whatever, Instagram, especially Instagram for the audience that this movie is targeting. You're going to get none of that. Disney has decided to kill all of that, to cancel every bit of it. They don't want reporters anywhere near Rachel Zegler. But the news media out there wants to make you think it's both of them, because they both are controversial, which is really pissing me off. Because Gal Gadot is not controversial.
Not in any way. And, I made the joke about Mark Malkin, but he has an article in Variety right now where he frames this very specifically as Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot have caused controversy, as opposed to Rachel Zegler has had years of running her mouth and saying offensive, ungrateful, entitled, genocidal things.
Right here. That was the other one.
And Gal Gadot said, I would like for the country that I come from to exist.
Yeah, exactly. And just to be clear in this, and this is where we'll go through this, because this is Mark Malkin, and this is the guy you see on the red carpet oftentimes, but this is where the story really originated from, was here in Variety. Again, read the title, Hollywood premiere amid Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot controversies is scaled back. They could have stopped at Rachel Zegler. And that would have been an accurate title. But again, trying to appease the extreme left-wing Hollywood crowd, many of which would be more than happy to run around waving their Free Palestine flags, which Rachel Zegler does. And this is the controversy. As Jonas pointed out, I mean, Gal Gadot is from Israel. She supports Israel against terrorism. Okay? Rachel Zegler, on the other hand, is waving the flag of Palestine, which typically involves what the United States deems as officially designated foreign terrorists, Hamas. So that's who Rachel Zegler has been stumping for. So to say that these two things are equal, in my mind, just doesn't jive. But this is the framework of the argument. And you can see here, they're talking about the same thing as the New York Post article. Coverage will be limited to photographers and a house crew. And a house crew is Disney's people. It's Disney's photographers.
Yeah, I'm reminded of those people that were just talking about how, oh, we are in the presence of the great Jonathan Majors on the Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania premiere, where every other comment, what was it like to work with Jonathan Majors? These are hype people. These are interns with hopes of being regular hosts on Disney-owned media.
Yeah, what's hilarious to me is that there should be, from the Hollywood press, there should be a lot of outrage over this, right? Because remember, these same people right now, they get mad when Donald Trump throws out ornery people from the White House press briefing room or doesn't want to talk to reporters or what have you. You've got Disney now, they got their movie coming out. This is where the Hollywood press corps really gets to shine, right? And Disney has effectively shut down the press room for this whole movie. Disney has banned the entire Hollywood press corps from covering the premiere. Disney is only going to allow their own paid personnel, their own employees, their own hired contractors to come in there and do the photography at the premiere. Maybe you get a short statement out of Rachel Zegler, but the question is going to be preset. It is going to be rehearsed with Rachel Zegler, and it's going to be delivered like it was part of the script of the movie. What they don't want, what Disney obviously does not want, is Rachel Zegler going off script. Let's be honest. They are not worried about Gal Gadot at Disney at all. And if they are, they're idiots. They're worried about Rachel Zegler. Would you agree with that?
Oh, yeah. What's she going to do? Sing Imagine again?
The old communist ballad of Imagine. Yeah.
Rachel Zegler is a controversial take machine. She comes out on generic political takes that will offend half the nation. She comes out on geopolitical issues while talking about trailers. She offends the audience at D23 and says, oh yeah, we don't like the original version of Snow White, as if she is not in the place where people would be celebrating that. She has an amazing ability to offend everyone. By the way, she came out against Jeremy Renner and, of course, was part of the pile on for Gina Carano back in the day on Twitter. So until I see an ounce of repentance from her, I'm going to say she's just not a very nice person.
No, you're probably right. It's probably safe to say. Yeah, the clips of all of her famous comments are part of this article. Here we go. In an interview with Variety D23 2 years ago. So this is why you don't want to have Variety there for sure. Zegler said, quote, she's not going to be saved by the prince. She's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about the leader she knows she can be. This is also a similar interview to where she said that the prince was a stalker and weird. And then we got the whole Peter Dinklage thing. Everything about this movie has been a mess from day one, an absolute mess from day one. And I don't think that's going to change, except for the fact that what's really interesting, Jonas, is that now it seems like the Walt Disney Company, they don't seem too faithful in this movie either right now. Make sure you're subscribed to Valiant Renegade and join us every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern for the live show.